Alright, hey, here's a little one on how to make sure your images are of decent enough quality for print in InDesign. So first of all, I'm going to go find a terrible quality image. So I'm going to start off with something like, let's go for a Twin Peaks floor pattern. What's something that looks a bit rough? Does it have a, oh, it's from vector stock, we don't want that. What's something, ooh, 400 by 300, that is terrible quality, let's have that. Just gonna drag that to the desktop. It's a WebP, we don't want that. If you do get a WebP, you can right click on it, go open image in a new tab, do that, right click, file, save image as, and save it as a PNG. So I'm just gonna save that on the desktop, so I don't mess with anything I've got. There we go. There we go, perfect. Minimize that. So this one here, that's fairly low res. So what I can do is just drag that straight into InDesign. Give it a minute, drop it in. See, that's a little bit too low res. If I full screen that, not brilliant. Say if I wanted to stretch that to the full screen, then that is not going to end happily. So let's just put that in the corner. And if I stretch that out, actually before I do that, if I double click on it, see I have the actual image there. I can click on links. This is on Workspace Essentials Classic at the moment. So I can double click on that. Here is the stretching. That's 100% scale by 100% scale on width and height, which is exactly what we want. That is the actual size of it. So it's 141 mil by 105 mil. This document is A4. So if I then go into links, which is just up here on mine, see that? We've got the actual PPI and effective PPI. If I click on this image, do Shift and Command, then I can shrink it a little bit. Effective PPI goes up to 100. Whereas if, because I've made it smaller, so that's more pixels in a more confined space. So what I can do is I can click on that by holding Shift and Command again, stretch it out a little bit. Now it's at 49 pixels per inch, which is still nowhere near good enough. The minimum you want is kind of going to be about 250 pixels per inch. So what we can do a couple of things. First of all, we could find a higher resolution image, which would be the ideal one, because then we're not going to mess with it. Because the only way we can stretch this out to make sure that it's actually a decent printable resolution is to kind of add fake pixels. Luckily with this image, because it's quite simple, we can do that easily. It'd be better if it didn't have the gradient in it, but it's not going to matter too much. But if I wanted to actually make this suitable for print with the image as it is, I need to shrink it all the way down to 202 pixels, 455. All right, let's try and get this to 250. 277. That'll do. That is actually technically printable quality because it's not going to show any pixels off or anything like that. If I drag the original back in, you can see the size difference. So this one here is at 72 pixels per inch. This one is at 277 pixels per inch. So as you can see, there is a huge disparity in the actual size of the image. If you've taken a photo on your phone or whatever and the resolution's decent enough, say you're going to be like 4000 by 3000 or something like that, that's probably going to be okay. However, your phone will probably still take a picture at about 72 pixels per inch, which generally isn't going to be good enough. So please bear that in mind. One thing we can do is we can find the image, we can right click on it, we can then go edit with, and I'm going to edit with Photoshop. What we can then do is select the image and then go to image size. Click on that. We can change the resolution. I want to change this resolution to 250. Luckily, this has turned out quite well because we've got the resampling here, which does preserve details for enlargement. It's still not going to look brilliant, but please use your judgment if it's suitable. See, the image is a lot bigger. What I can then do is save this. That'll do. Save, save. One thing I do want to do with this is change the color mode. If you were going to print this, or the intent was print, obviously you want to be using Cmyk rather than RGB, so you can just change the color mode. If you are using various colors in there, they will change. So I'm going to save that. That's now not going to throw up any errors either. Save that as Photoshop, I'll be fine. Sure. Alright, I can then minimize that. Drag that in there. See this image now, 250 ppi, that is now suitable for print. The quality is actually slightly better. Well, it looks like it is from this anyway. If I full screen that, you can see. Also, when you double click on it, or single click there, color space is now Cmyk versus the RGB color space from where it was on the web. Done.